These carvings, they're undeniably La Tolita.
But they shouldn't be here. Not at this depth. This rewrites the book.
For generations, the history of the Americas seemed to follow a familiar story. But deep in Ecuador, researchers began detecting patterns that nature alone could not easily explain. Straight lines, raised platforms, roads, and enormous geometric formations.
One technology changed everything. LiDAR, laser scanning that can reveal the ground beneath the forest canopy.
When the trees were digitally removed, an unexpected landscape emerged. Some of these ancient pathways stretched across the landscape, connecting settlements that were once thought to be far more isolated. The evidence suggested something more organized than scattered villages, communities linked by carefully constructed infrastructure. These landscapes were created centuries, and in some places thousands of years, before European explorers ever reached the Americas. The discovery challenges an old image of the Amazon as an untouched wilderness inhabited only by small, isolated groups. Instead, ancient people were shaping the environment, building structures, managing landscapes, and adapting the forest to their needs. And the more scientists looked, the larger the picture became. But who built these places? And how did they create such an organized world in one of the planet's most challenging environments? As researchers mapped the landscape, the isolated ruins began connecting into something much larger, a network of settlements. Some roads ran remarkably straight, crossing difficult terrain and linking elevated platforms across the forest. The people who built them also constructed raised earthen platforms, protecting important living spaces from the challenges of the tropical environment. From above, these features reveal something striking. The landscape itself had been deliberately organized. The inhabitants also modified vegetation and soil, creating productive landscapes capable of supporting permanent communities. Imagine waking here thousands of years ago. Houses around you, food growing nearby, roads leading toward neighboring communities. Unlike famous civilizations that built monuments from stone, these communities built much of their world from earth, wood, and living materials. And that may be one reason their story remained hidden. In a humid rainforest, wood disappears, buildings decay. For centuries, the jungle acted like a gigantic mask, hiding the traces of the people who once lived beneath it. Then LiDAR changed the search. Millions of laser measurements allowed archaeologists to reconstruct the ground hidden beneath the canopy. Suddenly, features invisible from the ground appeared on the screen. Roads, platforms, plazas, and connections stretching across the forest. The discovery did not rewrite everything we knew about the Americas, but it forced archaeologists to rethink what complex societies could look like. And perhaps the most fascinating part is this. These people left no written history telling us who they were. Their landscape is their message. Instincts. Archaeological discoveries in Ecuador's upper Amazon have revealed extensive ancient settlement patterns, roads, and... So how old is this hidden world? Archaeological evidence shows that some of these settlements were established more than 2,000 years ago. Over generations, communities expanded, modified the landscape, and developed networks connecting people across the forest. These were not simply temporary camps. The scale of the earthworks suggests communities capable of organizing substantial labor. Their civilization did not need towering stone pyramids to be complex. Its architecture was written into the landscape itself. And Ecuador's ancient communities were not isolated from the wider Andes. Rivers, mountains, trade, migration, and cultural exchange connected different worlds. For a long time, popular images of the Americas before Columbus focused on a handful of famous civilizations. But discoveries like this reveal a much more complicated picture. Hundreds of different societies adapted to their environments in remarkably different ways. Yet enormous questions remain. We do not know exactly how these communities were governed, how many people lived here, or why some settlements eventually declined. The rainforest did not completely erase these people. In a strange way, it preserved their story, waiting for technology to reveal it. What we do know is written in the soil. Roads, platforms, fields, settlements, and centuries of human activity. What we do know is written in the soil. Roads, platforms, fields, settlements, and centuries of human activity. The rainforest did not completely erase these people. In a strange way, it preserved their story, waiting for technology to reveal it. So does this discovery rewrite the history of America? Perhaps not by replacing the old story, but by making it much larger, because history is not only found in monuments that survived. Sometimes, it is buried beneath the forest, waiting for someone to look.